That's scary.
Scary as shit. Make sure you tapped in next Sunday. Not this. Well, this Sunday too, but next Sunday we're gonna do a little Halloween premiere, extra long, like you like it on Halloween. So little teaser there, man.
Trying to give me bad dreams like tonight.
I don't have to have a Halloween for that. I'm gonna give you bad dreams in our leagues, buddy. Come on, that's easy.
I don't know, man. There's been a couple of A-Rich trade offers just hanging out there. You ain't giving me bad dreams yet on those.
I'm giving you no. I'm giving you dreams at least. I haven't given you no.
That's fair.
Been some wild occurrences the last couple of days, but listen, man, we're here. We're ready to rock, right?
See, I like that when I hear you on another podcast with Eric this week. It's just like we just take notes on what Adam said.
The last time I was you took notes on that was Puka for QJ straight up, right?
Oh, there it is.
That actually was. That was the last time it was America's Game Notes. I was just
So we'll have to see if it's a thing. It's a
thing. Which so you don't agree with my assessment of A-Rich or which part?
I'm not really too big into A-Rich anymore. Like I'm kind of good.
Gotcha.
I'm good.
In regards to like current cost, in regards to just in general on the player, or
everything, like his cost is way too high. He ain't playing for you this season. He showed some stuff, didn't show a whole lot, and the injury history is extensive as hell. And for guys whose fantasy points comes from running the football and being bigger, faster, stronger, than everybody else, it's like, I'm kind of good, man. Like maybe that's that Trey Lance PTSD, boy.
Well,
coming right back up.
I will tell you, I get that comparison, and I've heard it actually kind of a lot lately. You gave me Trey Lance's best day, and then you gave me all of his days, and A-Rich destroyed that in a half. So let's at least not. I get that A-Rich has a lot of uncertainty. I'll give you that. But let's not put him in the same breath as Trey Lance. Come on, man. Trey Lance is out here just floppity.
It's good. So you just hit accept on those two deals, and then we don't have to make the comparison anymore.
We can do that. I mean, well, it depends on what the deals are. I actually told a patron, Chill Will was asking me about A-Rich today, and I told him, like, listen, the offer is fine. It was the offer what he was asking me about was he was going to send away his 102 projected. So 102, 103, it's locked in top three. And some add in Ramondre for A-Rich. And I was like, values are fine, but right now, if you're trying to make this move, which you're telling me you want to contend, so A-Rich doesn't help you do that. And then if you tell me when we fast forward, like, could A-Rich be ahead of 102? Maybe, but the reality is 102 is going to have a ton of hype, man. It's going to have all the buzz. So if you're going to wait all the way until then for you to actually get value out of something, at least have the one that has a ton of buzz around it. Like, it's either Marv or Caleb Williams. So I was like, no, just hold put, man. Sometimes you just like I was talking about on the AMA, man, just patience. I know you got that 102 that's not yours that you want to spend and you want to you want to get a sweet deal, but it's not A-Rich, you know what I mean? It's just not A-Rich, man. It's not A-Rich right now for that team.
I would say I definitely agreed with you on that part, though. Like, I'll buy him on a rebuilder.
Yeah,
getting my rebuilding first, like, this is kind of out of the question.
Nah, you can. Yeah, I'll just keep my first, man.
There ain't a lot of quarterbacks out there I buy for my rebuilding first. You know what I mean? At this point.
Yep.
Like Patrick Mahomes, check. Josh Allen, check.
Hurts, yeah, check. For sure. Right.
Burrow, check.
Yeah, the
Herbert, check.
The Four Horsemen, maybe you would call them.
End of list.
Yeah.
How about something scary though, Adam?
What up, Skippy? What up? What up, Fizzle?
Bye week Mageddon. Coupled
yeah, man.
With injury Mageddon.
Yes, it is.
It's a whole lot of Mageddon.
It's a whole lot of time to test that depth, man. It's time to see what you've been storing up. Did you like our shit, or do you actually implement it? I mean, I don't care what the league settings are. We talk about depth and everything. So
we got a big bet going down this weekend too, so it's gonna be good. Me and my old man squaring off.
I remember there was a super chat. I'll say this: regardless of what happens, one, I can tell you're related, and two, I like the pizzazz. Just hop on here, throw a super chat. Like, yeah, right. Son. Take a look at this. And flex in front of the whole squad. I like what he did.
That's right. I liked one of those comments in the chat, too. Like, I knew Mike was a G, but I didn't know he'd go after his own dad like that. Much respect.
Damn.
Listen, Dad. Everybody remembers that ass whooping you got from the Bills. Damn Dolphins.
Woof.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's true.
He's gonna get another one Sunday night. Let's go.
Love
He's gonna be walking around Daytona Beach in a Jalen Hurts jersey. I'll probably get him. I'll probably make him get that Kelly Green one too, right? So it really stands out.
Oh, okay. Is that if you had a choice right now, one Eagles jersey, Kelly Green?
Kelly Green, yeah.
No consideration to the black.
Nah, hit me with the Kelly Green.
Okay.
Kelly Green all day, and Kelly Green helmets too. Let's go.
The 90s, like the
oh yeah, Randall
Cunningham. Yeah, those are tough, man. With the gray, yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Can't even front on that. That's for sure legit. All right, man. Let's get into this. We got 10 games, so fairly short one.
Some of these games are god awful.
Some of these games are, I guess I'll say poopy. Now, since there's only 10, I don't know if we can pass, but we might give you a half-assed pass. Like we'll cover a couple things, but
yeah,
10 games. Yeah. Let's start here, Mike. Let's start with the Lions and Ravens. So
that's fair.
Let's start with a player that is starting to, he scored a touchdown, so people are starting to come out of the woodworks again. Where you at, man? J-Mo, let's just talk about it a little bit here.
That's so good. He kicks us right off the screen. He ain't that good.
Yeah, he did. J-Mo's like, listen, fuck y'all. You know what I mean?
He ain't that good. Listen, y'all can have him. You can have him. You can have him. You can have Jahan Dotson. You can just have him. I will. I'm good.
I'm good.
Listen, he played like snap share of like Marvin Mims. You know what I mean? And how valuable is Marvin Mims? We just keep. You just wait. Yeah, you could be waiting for a while. I think 26%, but he scored a long touchdown. So everybody's like, "See, we've been telling you." And then I've also been telling you, Dan Campbell don't really like him. He'd rather put Khalif Raymond on the field.
Right.
Definitely put Josh Reynolds on the field, and you know how good Amon-Ra is. And then, surprise, surprise, they have an elite tight end in Sam LaPorta. So, yeah. Winners there for Jameson Williams. Deep touchdown shot every 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I don't. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not intending to take a shot, but I will. I guess I carry him best ball, right?
He's a best ball wide receiver. How about that?
Right out of the injury, right out of the suspension, the following year, Mike, he's deemed the best ball receiver, at least for me. We'll see. To your point, it's a consolidated offense with targets and opportunity, and the guys that are getting it right now are feasting so damn much. I don't see, hey, we got to get J-Mo his, 10 looks. Like, I'm not projecting that, man. So. All right. Speaking of which, Jared Goff throwing the football.
He's kind of good.
Man, this guy's like the epitome of overlooked, but just solid as hell in your teams, man. Solid as hell for your teams.
Second coming to Kirk Cousins, baby. How about that? Right? You don't really run. Though I will say he's probably a little bit more athletic than Kirk. Like, he looked like he could scramble. He's had a couple times where you're like, oh, Jared Goff with the sneaky athleticism. But underappreciated Jared Goff for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Underappreciated. It's funny, man. I cast him off plenty a few years back, but his cost, even though he's playing well, is never true. It's recovered some. Don't get me wrong. Right? He's going to cost you at least a first, pretty much in most leagues. But the cost of acquisition and I'm just saying, I missed completely when he got traded from the Rams to the Lions, and I was actually able to buy back without really losing much because people still dunk on this guy. It's kind of wild.
He's a QB1, man. That's just pretty much what he is, right? And especially this week, you're missing 3 guys who would be ahead of him in quarterback rankings, so he goes up even higher. Pretty much a must start for you. Maybe not in like 1 QB leagues, but we don't play in those, so pass.
What's that? AAF?
I don't know what those are.
Your boy? What are we expecting out of LaPorta? He's been so damn good, man. Do we expect do we expect him to get some more of these games where it's The crazy part about last week, for those that don't know, he still got 10 or 11 targets. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like the usage to me, I'm not worried about it at all. So if you saw last week, like, maybe there's more of these middle of games ahead. I mean, are there? Probably, but the fact that happened and he had that much opportunity, Mike, I could give a shit. Sam LaPorta is that dude.
The matchup on paper looks tough for the Lions offense, right? Like you look at the Ravens defense and like, they've had some moments, and then you actually look at the schedule and the quarterbacks they played, and you go, you haven't fucking played anybody, to be completely honest. They got C.J. Stroud in week 1, first start in the NFL. Mm-hmm. They got Joe Burrow with one leg. They got Gardner Minshew. They had the remnants of Deshaun Watson, like when Deshaun Watson wasn't playing well and everybody was panicking, and then Kenny Pickett and last week Ryan Tannehill / Malik Willis. So the Ravens defense has not played an offense that instills fear in anybody. So be interesting to see if the Lions actually fucking stick it to them this week. So like Sam LaPorta, Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff. I mean, Josh Reynolds is going to be in play just because of all the injuries and buys.
Listen, man, let's get some Josh Reynolds on the screen, man. Put some fucking respect on his name. Get him a hologram,
Josh Reynolds hologram. Yeah, what the people wanted.
Now, can we talk about, this opportunity for Gibbs is massive. What are you expecting here?
That's going to be pretty much what we saw the first time David Montgomery was out.
1780.
I hope the passing work comes up from that game. They didn't throw the ball a lot to him, but they didn't really need to. But he got the work, he got the touches. So
I'm with you.
Expectations, kind of the same thing. He's good to go, going to play. So hopefully it's not a lot of Craig Reynolds, hell of a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs.
Stop with the Craig Reynolds. I don't do that. Dan Campbell, don't even think about it.
Please don't.
We're begging you. All right, I'm actually outside of JMO, who I'm not firing up in any leagues. Everybody everybody on the Lions that I'm going to start this week. That's Gibbs, LaPorta, Goff, Amon-Ra. Not worried about it all. The opposite side of the ball, the Ravens, man. Dude, I want to see something out of this damn team, man. It's just like Zay Flowers has been achieving the most with just this mid-ass offense. And outside of that, like the whole thing just feels gross, really.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Zay Flowers, that's about it. Mark Andrews has been okay at tight end.
He's been solid too because he's that good.
Echelon,
right.
Yeah, but not what we expected. We expected Travis Kelce level shit. Sam LaPorta level shit out of Mark Andrews, and we're not really getting that. So,
who would have thought, Mike, going into the year, Sam LaPorta not only outperforming him in his rookie season, but like right now the usage and the way the offense looks in this game, I'm saying, give me Sam LaPorta every single time. That's what kind of world we living in, man. Funky ass world. Lamar is the other big thing for me, man. I want to see him. I know this new offense. I think he's doing what he's told, right? He has to play within the offensive scheme, but I don't know, Mike. I want to see him kind of just the mindset that Justin Fields talked about on the podium there. I want to see Lamar do that, man. Just go ball. Like, I'm not telling you to break away from the scheme all the time, but when you see a place to go run, go fucking beat Lamar. Come on, man.
Eat shit, Todd Monken. I'm gonna do my thing.
Go your version of Aaron Rodgers. You don't have to check every single play at the line of scrimmage, but
tell Todd Monken I was here before you. I'm gonna be here long after you.
Got an MVP before, and as soon as you're out of here, I might have a chance to get one again.
Get your shit out of the way. Stop drawing up plays for Odell Beckham.
I hadn't looked at the comments in a while. Scurvy Adam in the building. Yes, sir. What's up, Christian? What's up, Eric?
Let's do it.
Cold world. All right. So, I mean, I don't know. Anything else? I would say that Bateman's dead. OBJ's dead.
Yeah. Safe.
I'm not even. I got their holograms queued up, and I'm not putting them up. They're not getting up there, man.
I suppose you might be starting a Gus Edwards or a Justice Hill this week just because of
roster construction and Buymageddon. Yeah, you got nothing better. Yeah, I'm with you. I will admit, man, like especially in
the shit out of that. If I got to start one of those dudes, I'm Ivan Drago in that. Like, if he dies, he dies.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. Now, listen, coming from last year, Mike, when we were talking all this running back heavy, total different approach and lineup this year. I felt like a fish out of water. And Mike, I've started Justice Hill in one of these leagues where I have not lost twice. And every time I put him in there, Mike, I kid you not, I go through the lineup 3 times, and just like
stomach curdle.
Oh, 100%. Mike, I'm going through the bench 3 times and being like, there's got to be someone else. There has to be. And then I look and I look and I look and there isn't. And it's not. It's just it feels gross for me. But Mike, I'm winning, so fuck it. I'll just trust the process, I guess. Philly 76ers. Speaking of trusting the process, what's I don't know, man. I don't even know.
Fire him up. He's good to go.
He should be. I hope so. I don't fucking know anymore. He was supposed to play 2 weeks ago, and
How about that? I'm gonna call it. He's going off this week. Top 5.
You think so? Throwing shoulder. Okay. All right.
Top 5.
Well, here's the problem. Like,
I'll make you feel good.
You don't have a fucking choice but to play Watson. This is the biggest bye week out there. Like, if you have a team where you have a choice to play Watson, okay, good for you. Like, you have a really good team. But what are you gonna do, man? This dude is. Even if you don't love the way he's playing, which I get it, or not playing at all, he's still easy top 15 option at quarterback. So, like, you got to fire him up.
Yeah. It ain't exactly, all right, it ain't exactly like the Colts pass defense is all that scary, or the pass rush is all that scary at this point.
Ain't exactly. It ain't at all. They're kind of just very, I guess I would call them a meh defense, right?
Yeah. Like, Tannehill had one of his few good games against this Colts defense. So,
yeah.
Come on, man. What are we doing?
Mike, honestly, right now, like, Watson coming back is good. And I talked about, potentially buying Elijah Moore in one of the Money Moves episodes a while ago on Contenders for maybe a second. But, like, I'm still fine in best ball having him. But honestly, Mike, I'm to the point where right now, until I see this offense trend differently, only person I really care about starting and feel comfortable is Amari Cooper. Like, Jerome Ford maybe at running back and stuff. Like, I'm not going to discount that. But I'm talking pass-catching weapons.
Yeah.
DPJ is absolutely not. Elijah Moore's usage is high, but his production is not. And David Njoku is very, very inconsistent with low floor.
I've come around, and I appreciate Jerome Ford and what he does. And I'm definitely not – let's not get crazy in what we're paying for him, but second's fair. And if somebody wants to sell him to me for a second, sure. Amari Cooper, though, that's a dude. That's a dude. I'm with you. Best weapon on the offense, most trustworthy weapon on the offense. David Njoku is not. Elijah Moore is not. Deshaun Watson, I do believe in still. So if they say he's good to go, he's starting, he's playing with Amari Cooper, I like him. I think this offense was starting to click before he got hurt. Hopefully he can just pick this right back up and get back after it. So, Jerome Ford, care about Amari Cooper, care about Deshaun Watson, care about rest of them. Don't give a shit.
Yep, I'm with you. I don't know.
Other than the cool story about David Njoku burning his face off and still putting on a helmet on Sundays, and
I got to find a way to get something that he did. Maybe his actual face on for the Halloween next week. Because
please don't.
Did you see that thing?
Yeah,
bro. That's wild, man.
Then I think about sweating in that while playing football, and like getting hit and the helmet moving. And
I'll tell you, he definitely though. The one thing he did do was, I care about him in fantasy almost not at all anymore. But he earned some stars in my book, man. Out there, the very next day. Very next,
like if you get badass points, like that's a 101 right there.
I would have pegged him more on the soft side, Mike. To be honest, so color me wrong. That was definitely wrong.
He's hardcore, man.
Yeah, man. That's
hardcore
tough.
Holly right there.
All right, Mike. Other side of the ball with the change at quarterback, Michael Pittman is a guy that I was kind of like lukewarm on. Like, I liked him. I liked his profile and stuff, but I just felt like the situation wasn't actually the greatest, even though Aiyuk was an upgraded quarterback. But Gardner just has no choice but to throw. He looked terrible last week, but I don't care if Pittman's going to get the usage and the work he's getting.
For the most part, even when Aiyuk was in there, Pittman was good. He's the number one.
He was good. I just feel like he's getting more opportunities, more looks, right?
I get you. What more you want from this dude? He's top 15 wide receiver.
Last week was I think last week was his first like really big week. He got in the end zone, had over 100 yards, right? Or did he just have over 100 yards?
First big game.
That's what I'm talking about. He's been solid. I'm not trying to discount the guy. It's just I'm talking to the elite wide receivers.
He scored more fantasy points in week 1, right?
Yes.
He hit 20 last week, but he was at 24 in week 1 with Anthony Richardson. So other than that, I mean, he's been like a real solid like wide receiver too. Of course, every wide receiver is going to have some weeks where they fall outside the top 36, and people go but it's the wide receiver position, man. Just Jamar Chase had like four straight games of doing fucking nothing.
Justin Jefferson's going to have 4 straight games of doing nothing.
DeVonta Smith lately has done nothing. Like, this happens. But if you want consistency and you want upside, he does show it. And this is a guy I think still in most circles, like a first gets it done for a lot of people. Like, he's still kind of an afterthought. I'm telling you, man, if I can get into some MPJ, I don't know if people really know that I coined that, or maybe I didn't coin it. I don't know, but I put it in a trade.
Nutted's out here giving people nicknames, man. I like this.
I put it in a trade one time, and it was like I couldn't figure out who MPJ was. Okay, so I didn't think it was that creative. But
well, if you don't know who that is, get him off of your team and give him to me. All right?
Yeah, for sure. I'll take him from you. No,
I'll tell you, Pittman was already though in an auto start pretty much, right? Like to me, the floor was very safe. I just wanted to see more of the upside, and I saw the upside last week. To your point, we saw it week 1. The more you see the upside, the better you feel about the upside. Josh Downs to me was not secure in either format really. Like he didn't show me I didn't think he'd have the greatest floor, and I didn't think he had a lot of upside. And now with Minshew, I'm not going to say he's like some auto start again, but this is a guy that I'm a lot more interested in than I would have thought I would have been this season, period. And we're only in week 7.
I know it's by Mageddon and injury Mageddon, and Josh Downs has been trending up, but this is a week I would not consider playing Downs.
Sitting Downs?
Yeah, against this Cleveland defense, no thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the matchup, to your point, is terrible. If you have like equal or even slightly lesser options, I would agree with that for sure. I think you might find some teams that just don't have shit else. But to your point, if you have a comparable wide receiver, I would agree. Like right now, the Cleveland defense has given you no reason to think it's going to be just a cheesecake type day out there, man. They have been shutting people down. So I'm with you. Zach Moss. I mean, I don't even know.
Do enough to eat, but
I can't even put JT's hologram up until I see this guy go away, man. Like, I'm about sick of this guy.
Maybe it'll be this week. I mean, this will be the 3rd week.
It could be.
Number 3.
So we went from.
Please.
It was closer to a split workload this last week. Right now, I think Moss still had more carries, but like his first week back, it was just the Zach Moss show. So. Yeah. Hopefully that continues to be the trend where it switches more to JT and all is right in the world there. But
I will say this though, for the first time in maybe history, at least last week, we saw that Steichen was like, you know what, Jonathan Taylor is actually a weapon in the passing game, so maybe we throw him the goddamn
There you
football.
go. See, yes, especially with a guy like Minshew, I like that. Yep.
So maybe even if Zach Moss is out here taking half the carries, the passing work's going to JT, and Steichen showed last week he will throw the ball to Jonathan Taylor and scheme stuff up to get him the football in space and let him do JT things. So
yeah,
maybe we're on the right trend. And I'm thinking if they're going to do something against the Cleveland defense, it ain't going to be turning around and handing the ball off to Zach Moss. Josh Downs is not going to be a factor. Michael Pittman's going to draw Denzel Ward. His defense is tough. Maybe this is a JT week. Might be through the air, though, but it'll be a JT week. So
I'll take my JT on the ground, through the air, through the water, anywhere. I'll take it, man.
Points, please.
Give me some JT love because I got a lot of exposure. Minshew, Mike. Let me just ask you. I thought he was going to be fine. I mean, he still might be. He looked really bad last week, and now you got Cleveland this week. Like it's a rough momentum swing going into this game now.
But compared to some of the other quarterback options, you might still be starting Gardner Minshew.
You might.
I
would probably try to play. Yeah, well, there you go. I mean,
ain't playing Brian Hoyer over him.
I'm not playing Man, I'll tell you the truth. There's a very short list though. Like, I don't feel good about anybody going up against, typically, like, unless you're a stud going up against Cleveland. And even then, I don't feel great about you going up against Cleveland defense. Minshew, I feel like this could be a rough game for him.
Tyrod or Minshew?
That's a good one. I think I might lean Tyrod. Might be a little bit safer floor, but Tyrod also doesn't feel like he has a bunch of upside, so I don't know. Desmond Ridder? Oh. Dude, I'm going to take, goodness. That is tough because Mike, I don't ever start Desmond Ridder. Not even if there's a fire.
I'd start Desmond Ridder over Minshew this week.
But this week, I think I'm with you. I think I would.
Yeah. Dobbs or Minshew?
Give me... I mean, the Seahawks defense hasn't quite been... Give me Dobbs there.
I'm with you. Not a lot of quarterbacks.
That defense I thought was going to be a lot better so far in Seattle. I mean, it's I don't know. I think it could be had. So I'll take Dobbs, yeah.
And you know it's bad when I start off with, Desmond Ridder.
Yeah. Mike, you know what's crazy? I made him a hologram, and I can't get myself to ever put it on the screen. I think I need to just delete it, man. But
it's a waste of electricity.
Mike, believe it or not, lately, getting these things filled up, there has been a lot of circuit boards burned for no fucking reason, man. Let's say that.
Unfortunately. It's unfortunate.
All right, let's go to the Chiefs-Chargers. So what talk to me here. Chiefs, what are you looking? I mean, it's right now for me, there's Kelce, Mahomes auto start, and there's Pacheco I'm considering, and then it's like, I don't think, Noah Gray. I mean, who? Get him out of here. Let's talk about burning a hologram spot.
Rashee Rice.
You in?
Rashee Rice. Yeah.
I'm mildly in. I in lineup leagues I want to see some more, but I'm with you. I think it's been you're starting to see some signs that there could be he could be differentiating himself as the receiver to have in KC. That's not obviously Kelce.
Rashee, that's my dude now. Like that's the one I'm gonna hitch my wagon to.
Are you gonna stick? Are you gonna stay there this time?
Yeah. Consistent floor. Good start to his rookie year. He's not gonna be a face planner. It's not like the Sky Moore situation. Mahomes seems to be trusting him more and more, and he gives him the only really reliable option in the passing game outside of Travis Kelce. So I think that role is going to expand. So me personally, especially best ball leagues, but even like lineup, I'm starting to warm up to it as maybe this flex worthy, especially with all these injuries and bye weeks and these 6 in a row that we keep doing. So Rashee Rice might be a pretty big target for me in trades right now. Before it goes nuclear, right? Before he gets in the end zone, twice in a game, and people go, "Oh fuck!"
I don't hate it. I mean, the other thing too is with him. The thing is, I feel like you do have to pick your spot, though, right? You basically have to. I think with him, with the way the usage is starting to lean towards him, you have to either say, "I'm gonna just pass. I'm gonna." Stay away, or you kind of almost have to buy in a little bit ahead of time so you get there before the wave, because anybody that gets stock up in KC, the stock doesn't just go up, Mike. It's Dogecoin. People freak out. So I'm with you on that part.
I think it's time to make a decision. Either you're going to be in on Rashee Rice or you're going to be out on Rashee Rice, because at some point it's going to flip, one way or the other.
Yeah. Mike, Pacheco, man, is early in the year with this like 3-headed monster. I was just I wanted to get sick, but he's starting to show me some stuff, man. I feel good about having Pacheco on some of my teams, really. Yep,
kind of like we were talking earlier with Jared Goff. This guy is almost a must start at running back. So not going to be a lot of running backs weekly where you go, I'd rather have him over Isaiah Pacheco. Safe floor, great offense, and spike potential at the running back. Getting to work. That's the dude you want. It's the dude you want. We can kill this Clyde Edwards-Helaire shit. We'll see how it goes when we get to fantasy playoff times, if Jerick McKinnon makes an appearance. But at some time, the injuries and father time just catch up to him, and it's just a veteran presence, and that's all it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
All he is really just a nuisance to keep Deneric Prince, what we thought was going to be this year's Pacheco on the practice squad. So.
Yeah, Deneric Prince, it's starting to feel RIP. Now, I guess, I mean, I have him in taxi, so I'm just leaving him in there because what are you going to do? But he's been cut. Let's just say, because I have a lot of best ball, Mike, he's been long cut in a lot of teams. He just isn't happening.
I mean, Pacheco's a pretty much threat for RB1 every single week, so
yeah,
it doesn't even matter if there's injuries or buys. And now that you start to get more injuries and buys, like, you could be a threat for top 10, top 8 every single week. So that's a guy you just fire up.
And you know, the interesting part to me about Pacheco is I feel like he's not like the safest floor out there, but he's got a pretty solid floor too. So that's, you give me, you know, RB1 upside with a somewhat safe floor, Mike. I mean, how do you not just plug and play, right? All right, Mike. Justin Herbert. What are you thinking here?
He's playing well.
Yeah, he is. Well, he looks a lot better. He looks a lot closer to 2 years ago than last year. I think. Say what you want, but he was playing hurt last year, man.
Kellen Moore has been very good for him in the offense. I know they played Dallas and they only got 17 points. And people, but a lot of that's just like some stupid shit, right? Like Dallas got the ball 3 damn times in a row.
Yeah,
basically, right? And it had nothing to do with Herbert or the offense really even playing bad. So special teams played into it. The interesting thing is I kind of expect the Chargers to lose to the Chiefs this week, and like, do we really start hearing some grumblings about Brandon Staley being gone? Like, is this a situation where Kellen Moore might just by default walk into a head coaching position because Brandon Staley's going to get his ass canned?
It's very possible. I mean, at the same time, like, I feel like how long do we have to say that before it's like I'm numb to it. Like, I'll believe it when it's in writing.
What exactly happened, right?
And the other thing too is I don't disagree with that point. I would almost, in a weird way, Mike, for his fantasy, I would just rather Kellen Moore be able to focus on the offense and Herbert and not have to deal with that. And I think, like, what I've seen from Herbert, this guy is one of the very few that I just will pay out the nose for, man. Like, this is that guy.
The only thing you saw last week that you didn't like was those 2 long, what could have been touchdown passes to Keenan Allen that he
for sure
just put too much mustard on and just missed him. So,
yep. Eckler in the return, Mike. I mean, he's where are you at with him? I think there's better days ahead. I think he didn't look 100%.
For sure. Dallas is a tough defense, even though San Francisco embarrassed them a couple weeks ago. They're not bad. All right, let's not get it twisted. They're still good. So first game back, it was a high ankle sprain, and the return to play, like production wise, the cutting, like it just never really seems to quite be there for all these guys who get these high ankle injuries at the running back. So better days definitely ahead. Now he's got a tough matchup with the Chiefs, but the good thing he gets pass catching work, and the other good thing is there's not a damn running back on the team outside of Austin Eckler worth a fuck. So. Yep. Not a single one. Josh Kelly's horrible. Isaiah Spiller is not very good, apparently, because he can't get on the field over dog shit Josh Kelly.
They're all trash. Keenan Allen, Mike, is looking like a league winner right now, dude.
Stud.
Absolute league winner right now. Whether you got him in a startup, you made a trade in the offseason, you drafted him and redrafted, league winner currently. You just got to hope he stays healthy because he is absolutely balling. To your point, you could have had more last week, man.
Yep.
All right, dude. Mike, can we just talk about the other team every time the Patriots play?
Sure.
I mean, we don't actually have – it's just – I don't care about this offense at all. Like, it just makes me sick.
Not a single one.
All right, let's go with Dalton Kincaid. Let's get even grosser.
Who?
Tight end 1 of the class, remember?
For who?
How about there's the tight end 1 in Dynasty in the class, and it ain't him.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Do you think they ever turn this around? Like, at some point, right? They gotta get him involved.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the way that the Bills didn't have, like, you had to kind of, I think you kind of have to build with a guy like him. Like, they're gonna use him in a way that they haven't really used people before, supposedly. So it's new to the offense. It's new to him. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a development. And then, Mike, the big question for me is, at a position like tight end, like, that development if it's not elite, like you wait. What did you wait on?
Right.
And what did you spend?
He's an interesting one too because I don't know through most part of last year, going in at least to the college season, like he wasn't really talked about. And then he had the monster game against USC, and that just kind of like carried over. Yep. Which now, looking in hindsight, when we talk about USC, I don't know how many people actually follow college football, but if you want to talk about offense, no D, that's USC. So, just to throw some shots at those fucking guys coming to the Big Ten, next year, like, good fucking luck with you. Like, you guys can't stop a wet fart. So,
listen, this is what Ohio State likes. Okay, you bring in no defense on the other side to play against, and you bring in a team with a bunch of money. We'll take it.
I'm pretty sure Iowa would put up 30 points against that defense. And
I'm actually I'm kind of curious to see how that game goes. It feels like two totally opposite styles too. It's going to be a pretty freaking great to watch.
But he kind of came out of nowhere, and then he got all this hype, and then for whatever reason, the Bills decided that was their luxury pick in the first round was a tight end. When they had Dawson Knox, who was very serviceable and had rapport with Josh Allen, and for whatever reason, they just really haven't seemed to want to get him involved in the field. I mean, he's playing like 50% of the snaps right now. That's not even like a majority, and we're 5 weeks in.
That's my point, because Mike, they're not. When you watch Dawson Knox play, and you watch, they're not playing the same position. Like, you can put whatever designation on him you want. Like, Dawson Knox is playing in line. Like, you almost, without knowing the body type, because I'm so sick of seeing Dawson Knox catches, because I've been opposed to him, I don't know, for years, and couldn't get on board. Like, I know every time it's going to a tight end, it feels like it's Dawson Knox again, because where they're throwing the football in the middle, it's just, I don't know, man. I think Dalton Kincaid has the ability eventually to be a solid tight end. I just don't know if waiting on him and then you're going to actually get to the elite level. Because frankly, at tight end, if I'm waiting, you better be elite, or I don't got time, and why did I wait?
At this point, he's no better than one of these A-Warp tight ends, right?
Well, let me ask you this. Would you rather have Dalton Kincaid or Michael Mayer right now?
Oh, Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer, for sure.
It's just crazy, though, like, I think I'd probably rather have Mayer too, but it's just crazy to think how, Mayer for so long was the tight end one in the class, right? It was Mayer, just Mayer. Don't worry about it. Just stop overthinking everything. Then all of a sudden he became like tight end 3 in the class, and like kind of it's Mayer. He's boring, I
mean, Dalton Kincaid's been just as valuable as Josh Oliver. Josh fucking Oliver at tight end.
He hasn't even been as valuable as Donald Parham, man. Get him out of here. Josh Allen. It's crazy. Like, Mike, what's wild to me about him is, it's like when I watch these Bills games, there's a lot of up and downness to the way they play for whatever reason. Like, there's games where he's just taking the top off, and then there's games that kind of feels mid. But it's rare. It's rare that you ever look at the box score and the fantasy, like, playing against him or playing with him, and you're like, that dude just always eats. Like, it may not be the craziest highest day, but he just never really flops hardly. Like, it's so rare. So it's just crazy, man.
Very, very high floor. The problem has been, like, the ceilings, like these big blow-up games haven't been there. And a lot of this, too, like, especially with the Bills, I kind of recognize it, and I've been an Iowa fan forever, but Iowa always plays to the competition. Meaning, like, if we're going to face off against number 2 ranked Ohio State, Adam, you're going to be like, man, this Iowa team showed up to play. We may not win, but it'll be like, look, everything's firing. But then we go play, like, Iowa State, who's god-awful dog shit, and it's like it's a close, like, 7-6 game, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? The Bills are kind of the same way, man. Like, they will show up and they will play against the Kansas City Chiefs, and you're like, this offense is unstoppable. And then they play a dog shit team, like the Giants, and all of a sudden you go, what the fuck's wrong with them? Like, why can't you get anything going?
It's just inconsistent from this offense. It's weird. And to your point, there's been a lot fewer of these offensive just take the top off games, and especially for Josh Allen. Krim, I saw your comment in here. Listen, we have Bamageddon. We have only 10 games here, and I am absolutely behind schedule for getting out of here on time to meet my sister-in-law at the airport. So, listen, if you want to store that question for Sunday, we'll knock it out for you. But if we answered questions during recap, we would literally never leave. So nothing personal. Just wanted to clarify that.
I answer any super chats though.
Yeah, that's true. You throw some. Listen, man. You get the super chat game going, right? You get this money game. We'll go ahead and make exceptions. All right, Mike. I'm gonna get off that game for now. Move over to the Falcons and Bucks, and what better way to talk about Tyler Algier, man? You know?
No, please don't. I don't want to talk about him.
I don't want to talk about him either. But you know what Dan Campbell? That's how much. That's slander. Arthur Smith is. Why does he have to do? It's like everything good we want in life. He's the one he's like the fun wrecker. You know, he comes to steal it from you.
Yeah, except for Drake London.
Drake London has been playing well the last couple of weeks. Yep.
Except for Drake London. And apparently last week he figured out the Cowpits is still on his team. So that was nice. But yes, Tyler Algier is a fun wrecker. Listen, we play a fantasy game and, you know, I like to have fun and be facetious and, you know, I was just kidding or I was making a joke or whatever. Adam, there are times I really just like, I want to see Tyler Algier just like headed to the blue medical tent. No offense against Tyler. It's just like, I don't care if it's diarrhea, man. Just make it something not serious, but like a chronic case of diarrhea that lasts for the next, you know, the rest of the year. Got to go on IR because he can't stop shitting himself. Like just something like that. All right, can I get that?
I won't stoop to that level, but I will not sit up here and tell you I've never thought of like, man, just get this guy out of here some way somehow, you know.
Please.
And you know what's crazy, Mike? What sucks is too, like I remember being like in it on Algier at cost, right? And kind of like I like it, you know, run first offense, and then you have to draft Bijan. And now, like, not only do I just want my Algier stuff to go away, but he's ruining, you know, supposedly the one you can't touch, like the running back that you just can't mess with, and he's finding get me out of here. London has been looking a lot more like a difference maker, so I'm hoping this continues. His usage has been better. I just my concern still is a guy that I can't get myself to bring onto the screen, even though I have him here now, is Desmond Ridder. Just dude, he looks bad as hell, man. I don't ever like watching Desmond Ridder play football, if I'm being honest. Is that that's not facetious, that's just true.
Even when the stats are good, it still doesn't look good. Like it still doesn't look pretty. So, but yeah, I don't give a shit, man. Just Desmond Ridder, just keep doing what you're doing, throwing the ball to Drake London, and then remembering that Kyle Pitts, you know, is 6'6" and in the red zone. You know, maybe toss him one every now and then, and don't throw to anybody else. Forget the Jonnu Smith shit. You know, every time Arthur calls a play to hand off to Tyler Algier, just check to a pass to Drake London or Kyle Pitts, and we'll all embrace you.
Well, Mike, I mean, because like
we'll all embrace you. You'll be our favorite quarterback.
Actually, it was to Drake London, yeah. So, Mike, I mean, the other thing too is Arthur Smith basically tries to take the air out of the football. I mean, if you don't know that if you don't watch a lot, like the fact that Tyler Algier is getting as much run as Bijan should tell you all you need to know, right? He wants to take the air out of the football. And then the problem is, Mike, when he's tried to kind of push Ridder a little more to open up, and this dude's he's turning the ball over. 5 turnovers in the last 3 weeks. Like, you throw one in the red zone to London, like it was a terrible play, and like, you know, that's the stuff that's going to make him go all the way back to old school. Like, no, we're just not throwing with Ridder anymore at all. That's just my worry. So I love the talent of London, by the way. Pitts, to your point, last thing I'll touch on in this offense has been usable. Like, I got the wings behind my head here, actually, as we're talking about this. But, Mike,
still there.
Usable. Like, you tell me, you know, decent little weeks and he's usable.
Yeah.
Like, he's just not, unless there's a significant upgrade coming in at quarterback, and even then I can't truthfully and honestly tell you that he's going to get back to this old form we thought of. I think there's going to need to be a lot of things. He does not. He does not, too. That's a good point as well. He hasn't moved the same this year.
Right. Still a little hitch in his giddy up. I used to love that saying. Hitch in the giddy up. It's almost as good as piss missile. Almost.
Man, you know what's crazy?
Is always going to be the 101.
They gave us 10 games, Mike. And I'm just like, don't want to talk about this one. Don't want to talk. Like, you gave us 10 gross games, too, man. Giants, Commanders?
No.
Why?
Pass.
Packers, I mean, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, Mike. I have 7 holograms now for the Packers.
How about this for the Packers, though? I'll give a prediction.
Okay. Who am I putting up?
It's Christian Watson breakout.
Okay.
If I'm going to get spicy, Christian Watson this year's breakout game.
Okay.
Him and Jordan Love take it to the Denver defense.
Well, if there's ever a week, as I found out with, well, I knew this, but I decided to be an idiot, with Breece Hall. Yeah, if there's ever a week for you to blow up, it should be Denver.
Against Denver's defense.
And if it isn't against Denver's defense, I think we may have a bigger concerning looming issue. Their defense is just horrible.
I think actually on the other side, Vegas has got over under at 45. It's not the second highest. Obviously, the Eagles Dolphins is going to be the highest at 50.5 so far this week. But if there's going to be a game to be a shootout, outside of the Eagles Dolphins, which actually will probably end up disappointing and might turn into this defensive struggle, to be completely honest, the game I would put money on in game stack wise, doing DFS or setting lineups. I'm going to want a lot of Packers and I'm going to want a lot of Broncos in my lineups. Two defenses that are subpar. How about that? Let me put that nicely. Subpar.
I'm with you. Now, I don't hate this call. Well, first and foremost, you can't. It's Denver's defense, right? Yep. Now, the reason I mentioned that I have 7 other this offense, it feels like there's too many guys that are okay enough. And I personally still, I know there's been some good games and he's had some actually reasonable, not reasonable, above average warp plenty of times, right, with Jordan Love. But I just don't think really in the NFL he's honestly that good, or at least isn't currently. I'm not going to tell you what the kid couldn't be, but especially just try to support. Mike, you got Jaden Reed's getting enough run, but not quite enough run, right? You got Romeo Doubs is still just kind of that thorn in the side with enough usage. I don't know, man. And the crazy part is this is happening. No one's really taken off while Aaron Jones is not even playing. That's the other thing. That's the thing that really worries me is if Aaron Jones is not out there and the offense doesn't have him feasting, you would think somebody just kind of picks up that slack, and no one's consistently done it.
I'm going to say Jaden Reed takes a pretty big step back, even though last week was not very good for him. The last time we saw him against the Raiders wasn't good for him. Aaron Jones back, that's going to go next to nothing. It'll be Watson, it'll be Dobbs, and it'll be Aaron Jones. And, we'll probably get blessed with some, shitty 1-yard touchdown plunge from A.J. Dillon. Something like that, too, where it's hey, A.J. Dillon was a top 12 option at running back on the week.
Listen, if this is not the week to start A.J. Dillon, which I'm going to be honest with you, it might not be. It is time to put the kid to bed. Yeah. Time to tuck you night-night. The other side of the ball, man, it's you play Sutton, you play Russ, and I mean, I don't know. That's really
my conviction is on Christian Watson though, getting loose.
I get you.
Going over 100 yards and getting a tutty. How about that?
Okay. Oh, big time. So you're talking probably chance at top 5 on the week, definitely top 10.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I think he houses one from 50 plus.
We got 3 games left. Running a little low on time, but we can try to hop through these quick. Giants Commanders. Is there anybody or anything you want to touch on in particular in this game? Because honestly, it's just so bad to me. I'll say this. No. Let me touch on one thing. Jahan Dotson ain't it, man. Me and you liked him to start, but plus the offense the offense doesn't have enough upside for him to be this. I don't even know if he's mid, honestly.
Giants suffered another offensive lineman injury. Shane Lemieux out for the season now. So.
I really hate it for my Bark shares, man.
The only thing I would Wandell is probably a play for most people. Safe floor, getting more and more work. I would play some Wandell. Outside of that, Jalen Hyatt's a dart throw, and none of the other weapons. I mean, Darren Waller, I guess, but
yeah, Waller. I mean, Waller's one of those. If I have him at tight end, I'm playing him fine. It's exactly, but I don't care. If you've heard on America's Game, I got Jalen Hyatt mixed up with Tank Dell for a minute, and I don't want to start him, but I have no choice in buying McGinnon on this team, so I will.
Yep.
I don't care about the rest of these. B-Rob, solid. Logan Thomas, I actually don't mind starting him cheaply. Fine. Terry McLaurin still just needs a quarterback and doesn't have it. He's a great receiver. He just doesn't have the guy throwing him that's really can make a difference. With Fields out, Mike, what do you expect of this offense? DJ Moore, nothing.
Don't care.
Booty.
I wouldn't want to start anybody in here.
What about Roshan? Anything?
He's out.
Is he out? Oh shit. Well, yeah, I'm good.
So
we're gonna get some more Dante Foreman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pass.
Dante Foreman with this offense with no Fields.
Pass.
Y'all can have it.
On the other side of the ball, I'm still
Raiders,
firing up. Devontae Adams, Jacoby
Easy.
Myers, Michael Mayer,
Josh Jacobs.
I
think those four, like, I'm with you. I think those four, Mayer, if I have a better tight end, I wouldn't be surprised. But like those four, I feel very safe in starting those four.
Start him. Even with Brian Hoyer. He's competent enough. I'd rather see Aiden O'Connell, but it's going to be Brian Hoyer. So
listen,
especially against Bears defense.
Jacoby Myers right now, I think people are finally starting to like realize because it's happening over and over. Like this dude is good, and it's not just like this quiet good that like he's good in fantasy. He's meaningful in fantasy right now, and I don't think people. I think it's taken him this long to kind of get hip to that, and it's definitely too late to probably acquire him cheap. But
solid AF, like the kids say.
Very. All right, Mike, last game here. Cardinals, Seahawks. Let's get to your guy, Hollywood Brown. I keep misplacing I actually do keep misplacing the hologram, but I got you today, buddy. All right, I found it. I had to go dig
There it is. Finally. What, I mean,
listen, genuinely misplaced, but it happens,
Very, very, very high floor just because of the targets. Because there's literally nobody else. You remember when Greg Dortch was a thing? That fucking guy, like, I've cut him in best ball leagues. Like, 40 roster spot best ball leagues. I'm like, fucking Greg Dortch is nothing.
Yeah,
Done.
He's totally toast.
Rondale, nothing. Michael Wilson, sometimes a nice story. Outside of that, like, it's Hollywood. It's Hollywood. It's some Zach Ertz, and, occasionally we get teased with a little Trey McBride. But
I was going to say that
list.
McBride is like I like him. I like the talent and all that. I've been a fan, but I think if I can get out for a second, I mean, dude, get me the hell out now.
You need a Zach Ertz trade. Like trade Zach Ertz to Miami, right?
Yeah,
do that. Oof. Give him a pass catching weapon at the tight end.
You give him Tua more. We're gonna give Tua more. Holy shit!
You could still play Durham Smythe for blocking and all that stuff, but
right.
Make him a tight end, or make him a tight end in Miami. Come on, let's do this.
I mean, they bullied me into it, Mike. They told me I had to make an Amari hologram, and for what? You talk about wasting data. I mean, these things take a couple hours to render. For those that don't know, these things take a long time. This was probably the most disappointing one I've made, and I've made some shitty-ass holograms, buddy. Like, it's been...
Talk about two backfields I have no interest in starting even during Mageddon and Injury Mageddon.
I'm good, man. Like, to your point, like, I'll just say this. Even with Hollywood, like, I don't feel great about it, but to your point, like, Hollywood is getting so much usage in this offense that he's a start. Zach Ertz, until further notice of an injury or trade, like, you just play him. And I think the rest of the offense, I kind of don't care. I'll play Dobbs in certain spots in Superflex. Definitely love him in best ball, but that's the extent of this offense that I give a shit about, if I'm being honest.
I think that's I don't want to play Cardinals backfield. I don't want to play Rams backfield this week at all. Like, hard pass on both.
No, man. Dude, I am truly... I don't think people understand, like, the amount of Kyren Williams is the most used running back. 83% of snaps. He's getting touches all the time. Like, Sean McVay is very finicky about his running backs. I don't think he trusts a soul other than maybe the bringing back of Darrell Henderson, who basically was sitting on the couches for a year. Anyway, Seattle side, Mike. Listen, Tyler Lockett, for those that wanted to just write this guy off, he's old, it's time. No, it's not. It's just not JSN's time. And as long as this guy's healthy, Mike, I'm not going to say JSN doesn't ever have a good game, but like he's never going to have this takeover role, I don't think, while Lockett's playing this way and DK's still healthy. Kenneth Walker's still balling. Like, there's just not enough usage to go around for him to earn, I don't think, in that scenario. Now, if an injury comes or a trade comes or something like that, we may have a totally different conversation. I just think in the structure of what we have right now, the usage for JSN is not going to improve like highly. Now, it could slightly fluctuate, but he's just not going to walk into this wide receiver 1 role anytime this season without injuries or something, man.
And DK Metcalf got hurt and then came back in the game, and the last thing I saw was he was a game-time decision with this hip injury for the Cardinals game on Sunday. So
I heard he was leaning towards playing, but definitely not a sure thing. So, yeah, right. I'm with you.
Right. And the offensive line, again, is banged up. So
this offensive line has been banged up. It feels like Kenneth Walker's still balling too, man. The hell?
I would temper my expectations for Geno Smith. I'm tempering my expectations for DK Metcalf. And it has no bearing on what I think of Kenneth Walker because that is a bona fide RB1.
Where are you at, man? Give us a call. Give us a walk-off here. Kenneth Walker, RB what?
Ooh, let me see.
I was doing a little keep trade cutting earlier, and I was surprised how high I had him, man. Like, I mean, the running back position though really doesn't have a ton of these guys that are just like, holy shit, right now. But
all right, if Christian McCaffrey ain't playing, Kenneth Walker RB1
for the week.
For the week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I love this. I love this matchup. I love the way he's playing. Like, I got him as a top 5 dynasty running back right now. Easy.
Mm-hmm. He's back.
Gotta want to go away, man. Gotta want to go away, right?
How about that?
I'm not actually mad because here's the thing. Even when he got to RB1, there was plenty I couldn't cash out on. But if I did cash out, I got the right haul back. That. So, but he's legit, man.
The only downside to this year is, like, me personally was like, oh, man, we got Kendrick Miller, we got Charbonnet, we got Tank Bigsby, like, all these guys. Look, good landing spots, opportunities. Like,
right.
It's going to be great second-round pick, back-end first-round talents. And out of all of them, the only one worth a shit has been HN. And he's hurt. So, woof. What a running back class. Definitely, we were so excited for the 2023 RB class for it feels like the last 3 years, and this just kicking the junk. It's horrible. It's terrible. And even our godsend Bijan Robinson is getting fucking out-touched by Tyler Algier for some god-awful reason. Jahmyr Gibbs hasn't done shit. This class is god-awful. You remember when I came on, like, right after the draft, I was like, I hate this class. Like, I don't like it. And people are like, Mike, don't freak out. This class is shit.
Don't act hastily, man. Don't do that. Well, no. All right? No. How's that? I mean,
I should have stuck with this class is shit. I should have never let you guys sway me. Damn it.
You know what's crazy, Mike, is I had a
payback though for me trying to sway everybody that the 22 quarterback class was actually going to be good.
Well,
draft, yeah. So
that's a big faux pas, right? But Mike, you know what's crazy is I had 2 leagues, one where I had the entire class, another one where I had 10. I just want to talk about picks as a walk-off here. Mike, I think people, for the most part, don't ever want to get that high. They feel like they'll either get stuck with them. They don't want to draft them all. They don't want to have – the crazy part, Mike, is both of those leagues just moved a lot of the hype. So I definitely still drafted some looking like some whiffs right now. I think I got QJ maybe on both. Maybe I traded one of them. But I don't know for sure. But point is, I still had plenty of misses. But whether the class is good or not, like it doesn't have to be your problem, right? Like, there's going to be enough people, if you play in 12-team leagues, 11 other people that might buy into 2023 hype and 2023 player hype at some point. It's going to happen in 2024. It's going to happen in 2025. It happened in 2022, even though everyone told you it never would. Hell, 2022's got guys littered inside what people would call their cornerstone rankings. Miss me with this, like, we know the class is going to suck and you'll get stuck with the picks. It just doesn't happen, man.
And you get multiple opportunities to get off of guys.
And that point I'm bringing up because,
now, people hate Quentin Johnson. He hadn't done fuck all, right? What am I doing? I'm out there offering seconds for QJ in every damn league that I'm in, and people go, fuck you. It's like, don't ever say you didn't have an opportunity to get off, right? We look at it next year and you're like, Mike, why'd you even offer seconds for this? Guy's horrible. It's Sky Moore.
Second coming to Jalen Reagor. Yep.
Right.
Well,
who gives a shit?
But to your point though, like, because the 23 class, honestly, man, you gotta, by and large, disappointing right now, right? Like A-Rich was playing, doing what we expected, then got hurt for the rest of the year. He'd already missed time, right? He'd already left the game early. At least he didn't. He scored enough to be reasonable that game. But you got that injury. C.J. Stroud would be one of the big pluses in this class, right? But Bryce Young, where you drafted him, not doing your thing. Jahmyr Gibbs, not doing the thing. JSN, not doing the thing. It's just
Quentin Johnston missed. Addison's been decent,
but you probably saw Puka coming, so you're good,
Yeah, everybody did. Everybody had Puka, right?
All right, Canton, turn these damn lights off.
Get rid of them. Get rid of them.
South Harmon hologram. Power off.
Get them off. Let's get everybody out of here. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe. Appreciate y'all tapping in.
Don't forget Trade Show premieres tomorrow.
Trade Show premieres in the morning.
10 Eastern.
Tap into that. Then we got, Start Sit Again Sunday. And we'll be here for all your questions. Sorry, Krim, that we didn't get to it. Well, I'm running late as it is right now. But we'll see you back here, actually, again, Friday for the preview. Same time, same place. We are out of this thing. Peace.
Peace.